What's up, Warrior Dad Nation? Quick, short little video. 3 tips for healthy shoulders that'll affect both shoulder day and chest day, but today's focus is chest. Okay, welcome back, Warrior Dads. I'm gonna make today's video nice and short. I'm just gonna demonstrate and show you some things. I'm not even gonna use the weights so that you can see my hands, you can see the placement. I'm gonna give you 3 top tips for improving your chest workout, especially if you've had, predominantly if you've had some shoulder pain issues or you've developed a little bit of discomfort in here or out here or up in here, or almost like sometimes it feels like it's in your clavicle, or sometimes it feels like it's here, like if you do push-ups and you get a little pain in here, or when you're doing your chest workout. One of the things is on your chest day, I want you to start with a more delt-focused warm-up. So what we're gonna do to warm up those delts is you're gonna get a couple of 10-pound dumbbells, and you're gonna hold them right in front of you like this. So the posture that you hold is important in this. And let me show you the key points. So number 1 is warming up your shoulders. So this is point number 1 for starting your chest workout. Start with warming up your delts so that we can kind of pre-fatigue your delts, both warm up, flush blood into them and lubricate them up before you start your chest workout, number 1. And number 2, pre-fatigue them a little bit so that your chest can become the dominant muscle. Because your chest, when you're doing chest workout, if a lot of people have a hard time developing their chest because their shoulders take over. So if we sort of pre-fatigue them a little bit, then it can allow the chest to be the star of the day. So it helps your shoulder health. It's going to increase your the development of your chest itself. So I know I have the shape of my genetics. I've always had, since I was a kid, I've always had a little bit of a forward tilt to my shoulders, and my angel blades tend to wing out. You can even see that it's sticking out a little bit right there. And so it makes it harder to develop the upper chest. So I've had to develop a lot of strategies to help develop that upper chest. And one of those strategies is to warm up the shoulders first, and that also adds to your shoulder health. So I would hold them in front of you, not out to the side, and you're not going to go out like this. You're going to hold them in front of you, and you're going to keep them under constant tension like this. And you're going to you're not going to rock. Let me show you a couple of don'ts. Don't punch forward and lean forward like this. Chest out, shoulders back and down, not up and forward, back and down. So I'm actually going to hyperextend my back. So instead of punching forward, I'm going to actually hyperextend my back on purpose and sort of stick my butt out a little bit. And so that I can keep constant tension on those shoulders. I'm just going to use like 10 pounds and maybe at the most upgrade to 12 pounds and then 15 pounds, and that's about it. And so 15 to 20 reps, 30-second break, grab with the 10 pounder, 30-second break, grab the 12.5 pounders, because they usually go 10, 12.5, 15. So, and that's all you need. You need about 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. I recommend as close to 20 reps as you can. And even if you're a beginner, this is something that you can do without killing yourself. Because I know when you're more a beginner and you've just started working out again after maybe years of a layoff, or even after a year of a layoff, or several months of a layoff, you want to slowly build that foundation so you don't create injuries either. So, tip number 1 is warm up those shoulders first. It's A, going to improve your shoulder health, and B, it's going to improve the development of your chest and upper chest. And let your chest be the star of the day. So that's the warm up for chest day. Nice and good posture, and you're going to keep it under constant tension. I'm not even holding weights, but I'm just demonstrating. You can even see, even just doing that, you can see the muscles engaging. You don't even have to hold weights, because I can sort of flex, and you can actually do it with no weights. And if you flex and concentrate on that muscle group, I'm not bringing them super high, see, but my elbows are bent. And I'm contracting them at the top, thinking about that tension on that muscle. Contracting, I'm not bringing it way down where it's relaxed. You don't come down into a relaxed position, you keep it tense. and sort of flex them, sort of flare them out. So to the point where you don't even need a weight. If you can feel that without the weight, then you know you're doing it right. Then when you add a little weight, then keep that flexed feeling, sort of tighten them and flex them and feel that contraction in the muscle, okay? That's step number one. Step number two is gonna be starting with cable flies. However, I'm not gonna say no, don't do high cable flies where they're really high and you're bringing them down like this, not yet. You can do those later in your workout. I'm gonna say adjust the cables so they're about shoulder height, or actually a little bit above. That's gonna be the next thing. I'm literally about to do this workout myself. So I'm gonna have the cables about yay high, and remember, you're gonna get the cable with, if you have a weak side that's has had a little sensitivity towards shoulder pain, then don't grab the cable first with that side. Grab it with your strong side first, then the other side, and don't, if they're far apart, bring it in, get close, and take your weak side and get it in position before you, and then walk into the tension. So, right? So you want to keep them as relaxed as possible and get yourself into position, and then walk into the tension where the cable is now pulling against you, so that you get that shoulder in a strong, stable position first before you walk into the tension. You don't want to reach behind you and yank it into position. That's bad for the shoulder, and it's going to promote injury down the line. So we don't want to do that. So first, you warm up your shoulders. Second, start with cable flies, and you're going to range, depending on how experienced you are. Your first set, don't do that one to failure. Just really get it till it really starts like, oh, you're starting to feel the burn and whatnot, and just focus on a light weight that really just, like, even if it's 20, 25 reps because it's light, even if it's 30 reps because it's light, just get that blood flowing into those muscles first. And you're gonna keep your elbows bent, and so like you're hugging a tree or a telephone pole. I don't want you to bring your hands out wide where it's putting a lot of tension early on that shoulder joint. It's not warmed up yet. This is gonna put it biomechanically in a more stable position. And I want you to keep those shoulders down. Don't hunch those shoulders up and go like this. I want those shoulders down so you're coming more out in front of you, because that's going to keep that shoulder in a more structurally sound position, because this is about promoting the shoulder health along the way while you're developing that chest. And then you're pumping a ton of blood into that chest. So you're going to be going like this, not down like this, but kind of more forward, and not straight forward like I'm doing a chest press. That's something that you can incorporate into your workout later on in the workout after you're doing some dumbbells. But I want to start with a stretching movement that's going to open up the muscle fascia and open up those muscle fibers and let that blood flush into there, right? So I want to do a stretching movement first, but I'm going to be careful about not openly stretching it like this, but keeping those elbows bent and hugging a tree so I can fit, I could hug something like a cylinder, right? Keeping it more forward, okay? So that's step number two. Step number three, I would let your first chest exercise after this be, now you can do a pressing movement, but I would go, especially if you've had issues with shoulder pain and stuff like that, I would start with dumbbell flat or dumbbell inclines, one of the two. And I tend to rotate back and forth. This weekend, I'm probably gonna start with inclines first, and then I'll start with flat next. But if you feel like the inclines create a little sensitivity, you'll start to feel it in your body. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I slept on my shoulder wrong. Let me start with flat first and get my body in that groove. And then once it's in that groove and I've kind of found my groove, then I'll go to the incline for my third exercise. I'm not including the shoulders. Well, let's include the shoulders. So if I'm including the shoulders as an exercise, I mean, it's a warm-up. But so that's exercise number one, is the shoulder warm-up. Exercise number two is the cable flies. Exercise number three is the flat dumbbell bench or incline dumbbell press. And then you can mix up and do other things throughout your chest workout. If you've had shoulder pain issues, I would stay away from barbells for now. I would stick with dumbbells and machine type movements, either plate loaded machines like the hammer strength machines, or pin loaded machines. But let me finish with the dumbbells. So now with the third exercise, which is dumbbells, I want you to not go with a hand placement like this. I want you to start, when you first load up, I want you to make sure to kick those dumbbells up when you sit down on the bench, right? You're gonna sit down on that bench, put the dumbbells on your knees, take everything out of your pockets so you're not crushing your phone or cracking your phone or anything. And then you want to kick those dumbbells up into position as you lie back. But on that first one, I want you to have your hands a little more close to parallel. They don't have to be exactly parallel, they can have a slight angle. Get those up. Maybe get the first couple pumps in, and then start to find that comfortable spot where they're at about a 45-degree angle. And I want you to keep your elbows. See how my elbows, the whole elbow and everything is in alignment like this. So imagine I'm lying down flat on a bench right now. So there's a bench behind me, I'm lying down, right? I've got the dumbbells, I've kicked them up and lied back down on the bench. Whether it's an incline or flat, same difference. My shoulders are down, I'm not hunching forward, I'm not raising my shoulders up like this, and I'm not flaring my elbows out. I'm keeping those elbows tucked down here, and I'm gonna flare these lats out, right? And I'm gonna press like this with my hands at this angle. This is the healthiest angle for, especially if you've had shoulder issues. So hands at this angle, boom. And you don't have to click them or touch them. It's sort of naturally gonna happen, but this is the movement, okay? And if it's inclined, then it's coming up. But see how the hands are at that natural angle. You're not flaring your elbows out. You're not doing this, and you're not going up here where you're bringing the dumbbells up here. You're gonna tuck them down like this, so your hands are at this angle and your arms are at that angle as well. And that's gonna keep that shoulder structure in a healthy position. That applies to both the flat and the incline. Those are my 3 primary tips. The 4th tip would be, which I alluded to, which be the rest of your workout. I would stick with plate-loaded machines instead of and pin-loaded machines as opposed to dumbbells, as opposed to barbells rather. And my other little tiny bonus tip is to make sure to put your seat height high enough. If you're on a plate-loaded machine or a pin-loaded machine, the adjustable seat, we often have a tendency to drop the seat down too low. Here's what happens. When you drop that seat down, it brings your arms up like this and puts the shoulders in a bad position and starts to, and especially if you've had shoulder issues, you're putting those bones, you're impinging those, the clavicle and the other bones that come together, you're pinching them together. And the tendons and the muscles and the ligaments that run through those critical areas, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. So you're gonna pinch those up, and once you bring this up, now you're in a structurally bad position, and that's not good. So even when you're on that machine, you want that seat higher so your hands are down here and you can keep those arms, always thinking about keeping the shoulders in a strong structural position and flaring those shoulders out. The shoulders are part of what braces the back and keeps that shoulder socket in place. That lat is like a stabilizer behind it, holding that shoulder joint in place, okay? So those are my primary tips for the day. If you have any questions or you have some shoulder issues you want to talk about it, reach out to me on the Facebook page. Go to Warrior Dad Nation, follow us on the Facebook page. You can message me from there. You can always email me, tim@warriordadfitness.com. Nice and simple, tim@warriordadfitness.com. And we've got a lot of great stuff coming out, and stay tuned on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel here. We're gonna have a lot of great content coming out. We've got some exciting things coming out, and as you may have heard before, we're gonna have our new app coming out with all of these types of very customized training videos coming out, and the whole framework to our training system, the whole framework to our metabolism boosting system, the whole framework to our nutritional system, and how they all dovetail and work in conjunction with each other. These frameworks can create the ultimate lifestyle for you, where you don't have to go on highly restrictive diets. You don't have to not eat carbs. You can eat healthy in a healthy, long-term, sustainable, and flexible way. You don't have to carry around a Tupperware dish everywhere you go eating chicken and broccoli. You don't have to eat keto all the time. You don't have to intermittent fast. None of that. So none of that stuff is long-term sustainable, and we want to provide a lifestyle and a level of fitness and joy and happiness and health that's long-term sustainable and not just some flash in the pan. And you guys have a great day. TJ with Warrior Dad, signing off.